It's an exciting time for us Pokemon fans, as we have recently had a Pokemon Direct drop last week, giving us a lot more information about the new games coming out later on this year, Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. Not only am I excited about the new direction that it looks like Pokemon is going in, but I'm also excited because new games mean new soundtracks. I love hearing the new music that the composers create for all of the different aspects of these new games. However, there is one musical feature that I think Scarlet and Violet should bring back that has been underutilized in the entire franchise. I am the Rambling Man. I ramble on about things that I love, so please join me as we dive into the musical world of Pokemon. Before I explain the musical device I think they should bring back, we first have to dive into game sound design and look at how it's used in the Pokemon battles throughout the generations. Now, there are three types of sound that are used in Pokemon battles. You have battle music, diegetic sounds, and non-diegetic sounds. Battle music is pretty important in a game. It gives a sonic background to the gameplay that breathes life into it. It gives it intensity and keeps it from getting boring and unengaging. Being a turn-based RPG, Pokemon battles are very formulaic. They happen step by step. You choose what action to take, then one Pokemon does their turn, you wait for the animation to complete, then the next Pokemon completes their turn, rinse and repeat. It works, and it works well. However, I think that the music in the background is extremely integral in keeping it fun and engaging. I think it's fair to say that every single generation's battle music is really good. And in each game, there is usually one main track that acts as the general battle music, one piece of music that's used for most of the battles you encounter. So you get used to it. It becomes part of the game's audio language. You can sing along to it because you've heard it so many times, but it is not the main focus of what is going on. The player is concentrating on the gameplay of the battle itself. And because of this, the battle music doesn't get boring. The loops are just long enough for it to be catchy, but not get overly repetitive. Diegetic sounds are sounds that can be heard in the reality of the game world, the sounds that are going on in the game itself. These are the sound effects that emanate from the things involved with the battle, be that the Pokemon themselves or the objects used by the trainer, such as the various flutes or Pokeballs. These sound effects are another huge factor in keeping the battle engaging and exciting. The fiery roar when you use Flamethrower, the otherworldly whoosh of Spatial Rend, the heavy thump of Rock Tomb, the little melody played when you use a Poké Flute. All of these sounds are dynamic and give weight to the actions that the Pokemon and the trainer are doing in the reality of the game itself. It also adds immersion to the player as it sonically transports us into the game itself. Then there are non-diegetic sounds. All of these sounds are sounds that are happening out of the reality of the game. They are there for the player to hear. You have the positive rising line for a stat boost, and the negative descending line for a stat decrease. That slapping noise when a Pokemon takes damage, which also changes on whether the move has been super effective or not. All these sounds use audio to tell the player what is happening in the battle. It is reinforcing what we are seeing. This all builds up a language that the player can start to learn and interpret for them to use to inform them about what is happening in the reality of the game. Even though these sounds could be reality breaking, they are all implemented in a way that reinforces the immersion, as it allows the player to understand the battle in a deeper way. And so when all of these are put together, you create a cacophony of noise that engages and informs the player. And it's also dynamic. It moves with the player's choices. Now, in every single Pokemon game, each Pokemon has a health bar. This health bar has different colours associated with it as to indicate how healthy that Pokemon is. The bar will be green if the Pokemon has 50% health or over, orange if it is between 50 and 20%, and red if it is below 20%. If your Pokemon's health gets taken down to 20% or less, you will also be greeted with this. Now this alarm, this beeping noise, has a purpose. It indicates danger. You're close to having your Pokemon faint. It is supposed to give tension to the fight. In the early generations, this just loops until either you heal up over 20% health or you switch your Pokemon out or it faints. And it just plays over whatever battle music is being played at the time. However, from Gen 6 upwards, it beeps 4 times and then just goes. Now, both of these implementations work in that it audibly conveys the information to the player that the Pokemon is indeed low in health. However, I think they both miss the mark entirely. In generations 1 to 4, the constant beeping just gets annoying and is really immersion breaking. And in generation 6 onwards, it's a blink and you miss it type of situation. It adds little tension to the game at all, as it disappears all too quickly. Something that I find really annoying in earlier gens is that the beeping actually stops when other sound effects play. The game prioritizes the attack noises, the stat increases or decreases, so the beeping itself stops to make way for them. However, the backing music doesn't cut out at all, so you have this random layer of beeping coming in and out with no consistency, and it just shatters any immersion that is happening in the battle. However, there is one generation that is different. Generation 5. When you hit red health in Generation 5, you don't just get an annoying beeping sound playing over the battle music. When you hit red health, the whole track changes. There is a whole piece of music called critical health music. The beeping is still there, but it is incorporated into the music itself. It is a sort of metronome to the track, so it doesn't feel immersion breaking. If anything, it immerses the player even more. When the music plays, not only does it sonically inform you that your Pokemon has low health, but it changes the whole atmosphere of the battle itself. You go from upbeat, exciting battle music to this tension-filled, panicked track that exudes danger and warning. And on top of that, because the beeping is actively connected to the battle music, it doesn't start and stop to give room for the sound effects, as the beeping is no longer treated as a sound effect. It is now integrated into the music itself. This is a beautiful use of dynamic music injecting life into the soundtrack of a game. Not only are the sound effects changing battle to battle based off of the moves and actions taken, but the background music is also being influenced by the Pokemon and the battle. I really want this to come back in Scarlet and Violet. I think it is such an underrated musical feature that's only used in one generation of Pokemon, only 4 games. And I think that it was a genius adaptation of the already established formula. Now, as Pokemon continues to grow and adapt, I hope that Game Freak are thinking about how the musical identity of Pokemon can evolve as much as they are focusing on the gameplay and visuals. Thank you guys for watching. In the comments below, I'd love to know your favourite musical moment from the Pokemon franchise and why. I'll see you on the next video.